Hi YouTube, this is Ryan from the channel Ryan's Journey, coming at you with the week 21 update, vertical sleeve gastrectomy. So my surgery was on February 24th, 2014, so just several months ago, and I'm going to talk to a few things. I'm going to do an update as far as my weight, how that's changed. I think that's great for accountability to always come up here every week on my Tuesday updates and do that. Also, I'm going to talk about some reasons behind where my weight's at and kind of what I'm trying to do with that. Also, one big thing on that is hydration. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and about dizzy spells, which is a real negative. And that leads into, I'm going to talk about why we have weight loss surgery, or should you have weight loss surgery? That's a question that went around in my head for a long time before I did it. Should I have weight loss surgery? And I'm sure some people that haven't had surgery yet that are watching this are wondering the same thing. So I'm going to talk about some pros and cons with that and what led me to that. So first off, I'll start with my numbers. So on November 18th, 2013 is when I met with my surgeon for the first time in Santa Barbara, California. Her name is Farida Bunwal. Great doctor. On that day, I wasn't sure if I was going to have the surgery or not, but I went to meet with her based on a customer of mine's recommendation, and at that time I was 326 pounds. 3 months later, at my surgery day on February 24th, 2014, I weighed 294 pounds. So did some work pre-op in those few months. Last week I came in at 214.6. This week I come in at 215.6 as of this morning, first thing. Couple of notes about the weight. Technically it's going to go in my logbook as a 1 pound gain. When I weighed last week at that 214.6, when I first weighed in the morning like I did this time, I weighed 215 something. I went for a long 4-mile walk to the beach and back, came back, had a little water I think on the walk, and came back and I weighed 214.6, like a pound fluctuation there. And this week I weighed that 250.6. If I would have went for a walk, came back, maybe it would have been 214 again. But I'm going to go with that weight for my documentation purposes. I keep an Excel sheet with all this. Eventually I'm going to put it onto a chart and kind of show that. I think that would be cool. But yeah, so 1 pound gain, I'm not worried about it at all. I feel my body is wanting to hold a little bit at this 214, 215 range. Part of me wants to know that I can increase my calories and hold at places if I want to. I've definitely been increasing my calories over the last couple of weeks. Also, I've been increasing my hydration. I was really getting to where, I didn't get like Bobby had where he fell down. I know Bobby BSG, and I know Phil from Fat Kings BSG. He had some real bad issues for a little bit there with fainting and dizziness. I've had a couple of spells of it, and it kind of got, every once in a while it's fine. You kind of just, actually, if you get up too fast, you hold yourself, grab something. But I just kind of start having them like a lot more frequent, a few times a day or something. And so I just decided I'm going to increase my calories, but more importantly, increase my hydration, my water, my fluids. And I've done that a lot, and I've been feeling better because of it. I've been feeling more energy, and I've been feeling more less dizzy spells. I can get up fast, and I feel a lot better. So hydration is really key, and I feel like my hydration has got off track a little bit over the past couple of months, just because I kind of got tired of drinking water, and I was drinking, and I still am, Gatorades, which I like, and those got some calories, but I drink Gatorade, sometimes a G2, but I actually just like the regular Gatorade sometimes, and I just drink it in small portions. But I'm trying to get fluids in, but I kind of got tired of Crystal Light. I got a little bit tired of regular water. I would do some iced tea. So hydration's been key. I got off track there, and I was feeling tired a lot more, and I wasn't really sure if that was just my sleep hasn't been good, or what, because I haven't been sleeping great. But I gotta say, hydration I think is a big part of what was going on there. So a little bit of reasonings with the weight. Kind of wanted to see if I could hold. I started getting a little paranoid that I wasn't eating enough and my weight was going to go much lower than I wanted. My goal weight when I started this was a range of 215 to 225. So I've hit my what I thought was my goal weight. My doctor, through her evaluation, says, no, I want you between 190 and 200. So I'm going to get down to 199. As I'm going to make that my official goal. We'll call it our goal, me and my doctor. And that'll be official. I also am not running. I do a little bit of jogging. I'm trying to work myself up because I have a knee issue with my right knee. But I've had an MRI and he says it's just kind of tendonitis. He doesn't see any real tearing or anything like that. So, but he says just take it slow, especially on cement. So at 199 though, I'm going to really increase jogging and running. When I get this 15 or 16 pounds off, I think the running will. I'm going to try to really push more to there. I still feel a little heavy, and to jog and run, I feel a little bit heavy, and so we'll see. I'm going to kind of play that by ear. But 199, I'm going to increase my jogging and running. It also is a time where I might really get serious about learning to surf, but we'll talk about that later. So now to the topic here. Should you have weight loss surgery? Should you have weight loss surgery? Question I ask myself. First of all, I got to say that decision should come down to yourself, your doctor, surgeon, psychologist, nutritionist. Consult with those people, decide officially. I did all that. But I'm going to talk about why I think it can be a great tool for many people. I'm going to talk about some pros and cons. For me, the pros, health was a big issue. My health, the medications I was having to take was starting to increase. I had to draw the line somewhere. I had sleep apnea, which I had for 7, 8 years, that wasn't getting any better. I was exercising, but the weight wasn't coming off. I couldn't get under really 300 pounds over the years. And so health-wise, big improvement. I don't have CPAP. I don't use a CPAP machine or BiPAP anymore, which is a huge NSV because I can go to this OH conference in LA in a couple weeks, and I'm not going to take my machine, my breathing machine. This is the first time I've ever taken a trip where I haven't taken that machine in a long time. So that's a huge NSV. Speaking of NSVs is probably that falls in the many categories. But NSVs like, for example, I did yard work 2 days ago in my backyard. I got down on my hands and knees, pulled weeds. I got beneath plants and bushes and pulled out all dead stuff and got in there with a dead plant. And, I'm able to do a lot more. Another one the day before, I have an outdoor rug here that I sprayed rug cleaner on out there, and it's a big rug, carpet that we have outside on the patio. I sprayed it all down, and I thought I was just going to get some handheld thing and kind of brush it, but I got on my hands and knees and just started going at it, and I could get down there and not be out of breath, not have problems, and I just scrubbed it for maybe 20 minutes, and that thing came out like brand new. And while I'm doing it, I'm thinking, I thought I'll start it, but I'm not going to be able to do this very long. I was perfectly fine, and I would never be able to do that. It's a small thing, but these little NSVs, it's amazing. Everything is easier. My work is easier. Sleeping's better. Everything I do in my life is easier. Walking, jogging, tying my shoes, wiping your butt's easier. A little TMI there. Everything you do is easier. And you look better. You look better. You feel more confident, and that goes a long ways for as far as your emotional well-being. Also, exercise. You're able to exercise a lot easier with less pain. Do more, go farther. So these are great things. My psychologist asked me what my main goals with this weight loss surgery would be after my surgery. I told him at that time, and I thought about it. I said, good question. I said, I want to be a better father. I want to be a better husband, and I want to be a better employee, and just a better person overall, friends and family. And I definitely feel like all those things have gotten better. Now, the marriage thing with the wife, I'm a better husband, but when you have this surgery and you have big changes and you're expecting, and the other person feels like they're obligated to change, there's some fears, there's some negativity coming around that, especially when you've got kids and things. So you got to work through that. That's just because I'm a better husband doesn't mean my marriage is necessarily better. I just think that there's some new challenges that you're learning how to deal with as you go. But overall, I am that. I'm going to be around. I think I probably added 20 years to my life. That's 20 years I'll have to be around my family, be around my son that's 3 years old. So these are great things. Now let me talk about a few negative things that I've experienced. I haven't experienced a ton of negative things, but I want to make some noteworthy things known here. Heartburn. She told me I might have heartburn. I do have to take Prilosec every day now because I get that heartburn feeling. Another possibly related feeling is sometimes I get this pain. It feels like a hunger pain, like you haven't eaten in a long time and you're hungry and it's a painful hunger. Just occasionally I get that, and it's a weird kind of empty hunger. Even if I just ate a little bit ago, but I didn't eat a lot, I think that might have to do with the heartburn. I think those might be connected in some way, but that's a pain I didn't really feel before. And it's not all the time, but it's there, and it's annoying when it does happen. You can't eat as much, so you can't enjoy as much food. My relationship to food is a lot different. I don't enjoy food the way I did. I eat to eat. I do have some things that taste a little good, especially initially, but I can't say, oh, I've got to have this. I'm going to go eat this, and it's going to be so comforting and great. Those aren't. That's not a realistic thing at this point for me, which is a good thing in many ways. Including food, I do have occasional vomiting. I do throw up sometimes, and not everybody throws up, but I do. It's kind of random when it happens. I can't even say that it's specific things that makes me throw up. I definitely don't really do noodles or rice or pastas. Sometimes proteins. If I do too much of a protein like chicken or something, it won't. It's too thick to go down the top part of my stomach, and it gets kind of hung up, and then I have to throw it up. And so I've done that maybe once every couple months. So not a lot, but I did it recently the other day. But it happens sometimes. I wrote beer on here, question mark, because we have friends coming to visit, and normally we do stuff, go out to sporting events or do things and have beer. I've never been a huge beer drinker. I'm more of a mixed drink if I'm going to drink alcohol. I've talked about alcohol in another video before. Go back and look at that one if you want it. I think in the title it says alcohol. But yeah, you can't just sit around and drink beer and just have sips of beer all day and do things and go to sporting events. And so beer is one thing. If any beer drinkers out there, that I don't even like carbonation really. If I go to drink a carbonated like diet orange soda my wife has, all I taste is the carbonation. I don't even taste the great taste of the orange soda. So that's kind of weird that I don't drink carbonation anymore. Skin and hair. So you possibly have loose skin. I haven't had a lot, but I do have a little on my stomach and under my arm here and in between my thigh. I do have a little bit of looser kind of areas that I hope I can tone up more as time goes on. That's my next phase goal. But there, some, especially I know some women have had, dealt with that. So, so you definitely got to be aware of that up front, is that you will possibly have areas of loose skin, especially, I think your age, your genetics, what weight you started at. So hair, I already had hair that was kind of falling out, and probably in this process it's fallen out a little more. So I just kind of keep my hair real short. But especially for women, I would worry about my wife doing the surgery and then her hair falling out a little bit. So, I mean, too much. And I think it starts growing back. Like I think maybe my hair that has fallen out, which I can't really tell if it has or not because it was already starting to go a little bit. So, but that's something you need to know about. You need to know about the hair. There's biotin and things you can do to help that. But, it's definitely something to consider. And then just following all the rules. There's lots of rules, different things you can eat, things you can't eat. It's well documented, but you need to be up on those because I think some people that I've met could not handle having to eat the things that I have to eat and being able to have to eat the way I eat. And it's just something they're not willing to give up, no matter what the cost. So that's something you really gotta think about because that's a huge part of it. Yeah, so just some pros and cons. So my answer is yes. I think you should have the surgery. Consult with your people, but if you're at a weight and you're at a health place where you're having problems, why wouldn't you do something that's going to change your life and add 20 years to your life, or make it so you're there for your children, or just be happy again, regain your life back. So I say yes. I see people, I try not to push it on people, but if people come to me and ask me, and I have met people that have come to me at my work, at restaurants that we've stirred up conversation that's came up for whatever reason. I've been in line at Walmart and they said, you know, somehow that comes up about the surgery. I think because I'm buying protein shakes and stuff. And I just tell them the truth. So I'm here to help people too. That's a big part of why I make these videos. So if you ever have any questions, hit me up on Ryan's Journey on Facebook. I've been a little more involved with the community that way lately through communicating with people. I would like to get to a point where I'm less busy and I can do some Google Hangouts or some Skypes. So with some people out there, maybe as groups. I'd like to even do a couple recorded ones, kind of like, you know, like they do over Fat King Spill. Maybe just get a couple of us and do our own recorded and just have a handful of topics that we want to address. Maybe, you know, ask the community on Facebook what topics. I'd like to do some more of that also. I'm going to go to OH and meet a lot of people in person, and I'm sure I'll develop some relationships that way, and that'll help. But definitely part of my goal is to make these videos not only to hold myself accountable and but also to help people. So if I haven't made that clear that I want to help people, here I am trying to. So I mentioned that I think for many people that have weight issues and have let their weight get to a point where they're having health, physical, emotional problems, look into this surgery, whether it's vertical sleeve, Roux-en-Y, you know, even the DS, the full opening. My barber did that, and he's 10 years later, he's doing great. So I have, and he, you know, whatever it is, look into it, go to the experts. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody's going to like it when you decide that you're going to put all this time and effort into yourself and your health to go get this done. You might have family members that don't like it. You might have spouses that don't like it. You might have inconveniences with children. Whatever challenges you have, this is a time where you almost have to be a little selfish. And it's a hard thing to think, because a lot of us put ourselves second. That's why we let ourselves get big. That's why we settled for a situation we were in, because we put ourselves second. We gave up on our life to an extent. So this is a chance for you to go out there and get your life back. And some of that is going to piss people off. And it's going to be hard for people to take. But it's got to be done. And in the end, these people that are pissed off about it, or have resentment, or fearful of the unknown, or afraid of the change, these people that aren't going to like it are going to reap the benefits of it at some point, at 3 months, at 6 months, at 1 year, at 5 years, at 10 years. When you're 70 and 80 and you still got another 20 years in your life, which you would have already probably died of overweight and health problems. You got to put the dues in now, and you got to look out for yourself a little bit in this journey. And I try to be PC about it to all these people that, and I don't have a ton, but I know some other people have more people that are not fully on board and not fully supportive and not really seeing the benefit long run for everybody. So what I would say to you is, find a way to be as nice as you can and politically correct and as you can about it, but you got to find a way to be a little selfish to take care of yourself and get your health right and get yourself right. So a little message right there. It's a long video. Maybe you guys didn't watch this far, but if you did, I think that's an important piece. So once again, I'm going to leave you with that, and you guys have a great week. Peace.